So you probably arrived at this video from my Infernal cape guide, basically. This is going to be a full walkthrough. If you haven't yet seen my guide, I would suggest watching that first. The link will be in the description. And hopefully this will be sort of worth your time. It's going to be roughly about a 2.5 hour video. It's going to be uncut, I'm not going to do any editing to it, so if I do start randomly saying stuff that I shouldn't, it won't be cut out. So yeah, there we go. There's already one, and I feel like as of what I've done in the past, like, okay, cut that bit out, and then I realised, hang on a minute, this video is going to go on for 2.5 hours. I can't render this video. That is not going to work. But basically, the idea behind this video is that I did it with my my Flycake guide, and it turns out people actually, well, maybe not enjoyed, but found it sort of worthwhile. Me actually doing the full walkthrough, so I'm going to do the same with the Inferno. Hopefully that we don't actually die. I'm going to turn my sound on because that'll be interesting. Also got some of this, some relaxing music. Goes on for about 2 hours, so depending on how quick I can get through this, we might be looping the track. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and explain what I'm doing, sort of every single wave. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments to try and get back to you. And let's go. So straight away I drop the virus there. I stand here, and we've got to do some frame flicking straight away. I know that the south one is a safe spot. Not the south and the west one is a safe spot. So if I stand one past where it can attack me, it can't actually attack me. Quite good for the lower waves, just to save your energy, because they're a bit of a bugger. You take your energy away, which is not very nice. 134 is dead. That's another thing. You sort of get to know the XP drops and what kills what, and a blob is, I can't remember actually, quite a lot. It's like a 40. Oh, why am I doing that? Healers, no, healers. Nibblers are 152, they all die. Anything less is obviously not all dead. Blob minions are 201, all dead. 118 I think is 2 dead, like that. I haven't done Inferno in so long. I literally just got back from my holiday like a few days ago, so apologies if my clicking was bad, and probably my decision making as well. Feels weird doing this again. Also, last time I did this, I actually streamed it, so I had someone to talk to. This time, I'm probably going to be going quiet for long sections of this cape. I mean, I could do this on task, but it's realistic for me not to do it on task, because if you're going to be doing it on task, for a guide, it's probably not the best way to go about it. I'm going to switch to the range because I don't need HP. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, whoops. I hate these lower waves. I wish, like, if you did the cape you know, multiple times that you could just skip the lower waves. That'd be so good. That would be amazing. $2.19, that's it, that was a 40. Forgot what the number was, but yeah, $2.19 is block dead. You'd already hit that, to be honest, but yeah, it's always nice to know. I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to things like that. I do like to guess, you know, what I'd hit with a 6-3 drop. The annoying thing is, in PvM it's different to PvP. Oh, they're all uptick. That's quite annoying. That switch was actually pretty good. Before actually recording this video, I literally just got out of bed, logged on, and started doing it. No practice whatsoever. And I haven't done any Inferno attempts in... Oh yeah, it's not the monsters. Any Inferno attempts in like 2 weeks, so... I'm probably gonna die. Well, saying that, if I did die, then I wouldn't... This wouldn't be going up on YouTube, so if you're watching this, give me a congrats. I just realised I haven't even explained a single thing yet, it's just because these are the simple waves. Just minimise damage really when blobs spawn. And react as quick as you can. Well, that many's going to dig soon, but, you know, it's the only one there, so it's not going to pose too much of a threat. The reason I didn't run around that way is because obviously it doesn't say spot that way, only west and south. This is quite a nice diagonal safe spot. I explained this in the guide. Quite nice to use. Also, I am using the hearts. I think I explained in the guide that, you know, I'm not going to be using too many brews and stuff, so it's worth my while to use the heart. But if it's your first time, maybe not. Again, nice diagonal glitch. It actually unlured, so, you know, if I stood there quick enough, I'll be able to catch it in a diagonal safe spot. If I stand there, that melee should stand just there. Perfect. Couldn't really see from there, but I think the melee would have started walking round if I stood where I was, because the blob would have been where this is, which means the melee would have run around, I think. So I've actually got an SGS spec, one thing that I haven't actually done yet. You should be SGSing whenever you can. And obviously the reason I'm taking my Armadillo off is because Armadillo has negative melee bonuses. Blob minions actually spawn in such a way where if it's the west of the north pillar, they always spawn so only the ranger is attacking you. So just kill the back melee at first, Kill off the ranger, switch to your prey mage, and then move sword. Bat actually not attacking me, which is good. Because the bats have such a short attack range that it doesn't actually, can't actually reach that far. $13, $14 even. Step there. Luckily, the Elysian, that's going to annoy people. I don't actually pronounce it like that. Elysian. Spirit Shield, tank it. So that melee is actually digging, which means obviously it comes to stand next to you. But because where I was standing, obviously it depends where you're standing as to where it actually spawns. If I was standing one north, it would stand north of the pillar, which means I wouldn't be able to safe spot it. Because I was standing in line with the west side, it spawned on the west, which means I could safe spot it to the north. Hopefully that makes sense. This is quite annoying. That's quite an annoying spawn, where I could actually safe spot both of them. But shit happens. Did you not hit? I like brewed down or something. I probably should be going back to full HP here, really, but no. The next spawn, the next wave isn't going to be anything too dangerous, so not a big problem. 151 is 2 dead. XP that is. This is 2 Mayors, yeah. The reason this isn't safe spot, it doesn't actually get to the diagonal quick enough. It would already run more west, so the diagonal didn't work there. I can diagonal this one. If I stand there quickly, will it go? No, it didn't go quick enough. That's what I mean when, if I was standing to the west, it would spawn to the west. If you're standing to the north, it would spawn to the north. So because I was standing to the north there, I'd have to just run south, which isn't a problem here. But in the later waves, when there's more things attacking me, that could be quite a problem. $231, wow, that's big. I want to pick up my vial and drop it every now and then. Oops, there's a range of this one. Forgot about that. Just because the vial actually stays on the floor for only half an hour, So obviously you don't want to lose your supplies, you don't want to lose a vial. So yeah, pick it up every 20 minutes or so. Or just whenever you remember, because I've done it a few times where I just forgot it. Which is very, very annoying. Almost did my normal switch and drank a restore there. Quite a lot of hits from the bats there. Lost a lot of run, which is quite annoying. I always just lazy flick the mages and the ranges. Everything else I one tick flick. I just find it easier. You know, try and lazy flick some of the big ones. If you get it wrong and it hits you, you know, you're just taking unnecessary damage. If you have your camera facing towards the biggest monster here, you know, you can actually save a lot of damage just flicking the blob every now and then, because obviously I need to pray range on that wave because the ranger's attacking me there. So if I have the camera facing towards the ranger, then I can see when exactly it attacks. So, you know, I can prayer flick and just turn my prayer to mage every now and then in between the ranger attacks, so I don't take any damage from the blobs. It doesn't really matter too much on main capes, but you know, they can deal like 27, so a little bit of bad luck and you're taking quite a lot of damage unnecessarily. Only do it if you feel comfortable though. You know, if it's your first time, it's probably not the best idea in the world. But yeah, when you've done it enough. Oops. That was tactical, that. I totally meant that. The melee actually never hits anything. I don't know if it has like a lesser melee attack. Or I don't know. 43 prayer. Quite annoying. My SGS is hitting nothing at the moment. Not hitting well at all. Need some big SGS specs. If you're quick enough, you can actually clump them all, but I'm a bit too slow. Autocasting won't work there. Has a one tick delay. So the melee would have like run away by then, so you can't actually clump them all. But if you do it, if you cast it manually and you're quick enough, you can actually clump them all. Big SGS, nice. Normally on the double range wave, I would SGS back till I get to full prayer points again, because I don't really want to SGS the waves where. Okay, that's cool. Give me an attack from there. I tried to freeze the melee, but I think the nibble is actually the last possible square that it could be on with me attacking it, which is quite cool. If you are using Imbute Heart, obviously art whenever you can. I want to sort of. I'm looking at the yellow dot on the minimap because when it disappears, that's when it's dig. But it looks like I'm going to be killing this before, which is perfect. If I'm still killing it and then it's dig, it can be quite a problem there. They can attack me actually. No, it can't. So yeah, I was just looking at the minimap there, just in case it digged isn't a word, it dug. Dug. Hang over. Boom. Great film. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kill these two rangers and just let the melee dig next to me. Rather than... I mean, if I kill these fast enough I could do... Yeah, okay, I killed them fast enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand here then, and then just safe spot it. But it will be digging pretty soon, so, you know, just be ready for that. And obviously you can't safe spot it. Unless you stand here, then you can. Again, using a diagonal to my advantage. I could have just killed the melee, but where's the flashiness in that? Just I'm talking about flashiness is take a hit. Small SGS is Aha, this is an interesting wave. I probably should have barraged the Melia there, but cause that's going to attack me pretty soon. Oh wow. I thought they were actually attacking the same tick there. If I barraged it, I might be able to kill it faster though. But there we go. And the reason being, I wasn't using a blowpipe there, because obviously if I did use a blowpipe, it would run towards me. Sorry, I'd run towards it, and the Melia would start attacking me. Just waiting for this Jeff spec. Almost got one. Now. How long have we done? 27 minutes to here. I want to kill this blob as soon as possible because I know the Melia is going to dig soon. So if I can eliminate all possible damage that I might be taking as soon as possible, that would be ideal. I'm going to get back to full HP because next wave can be, it's not too dangerous, but you know, there's a few little troubles going on. Stands here, I think. Quite a good little tip. If you stand in the spot that I am now, you can actually barrage the nibblers without running around and unluring anything. Basically, I want to kill this blob. Similar to the last wave, really. I want to just kill it as fast as I can. And then when a melee digs, I'm just going to pro melee. If I kill obviously the range and the major first, I can't take any damage. Not a bad SGS. So next wave is 2 blobs. I'll go to 4 HP. This is quite dangerous. On the double blob waves, I would be using my augury just to make sure that I had the best chance of killing the nibblers first hit, because it can be quite annoying. them to look at the best place to stand, which is probably going to be over here by the looks of it. If I can kill this one quickly. When we have everything safe spotted. Now that's how to do it. Thing is, the 2 nibblers actually survived that, which means I'm going to have to go kill them because I don't want to waste pillar damage now. Even if I take some hits from the blobs, I'd rather just save the HP because I'm not going to die realistically. Not from here anyway. Just a bit of blob flicking. So if you haven't seen my guide, what I'm doing here is I'm just getting the prayer right on the first range attack, and then continuing to flick 1 prayer every game tick, and that allows me to cover both of them. I do go into it in deeper detail in my actual guide itself. I don't really want to try and explain it now because it took me bloody ages to explain it in the guide. Wow, man, my SGS is hitting rubbish today. Alright, this is 2 Melias now. So I want to just safe spot the Ranger as so. I'm going to go and get this one. We'll be taking a little bit of damage there, but I'd rather have... You know, if you're likely to die, just leave the pillar. But if you're not, you know, if you're just taking a little bit of damage, which you can heal up later on, you know, it's better to save your pillar HP. Obviously, if you're in trouble of actually dying, then leave the pillar. Leave the nibblers even. Whoa, I found my brain there. It's double rangers next, so I don't need to go back to full HP. I could just SGS them. That'll do. 32 prayer points. I mean, normally, as I say, at this sort of stage, I would be SGSing all the way back up to full prayer points, but no one wants to watch a guide where I'm just SGSing all the monsters, so I'll just do without the 30 or so prayer points, whatever. Right, this is where the first major spawns now. Obviously the major regens a monster that's already been killed in that wave. So, unfortunately, well not unfortunately, but there's been no other monsters on this wave. So it won't respawn anything. Mr. Bow is OP. I'm going to run around here because it's just going to respawn the two bats. So if I can kill the major first, then I will do. It also means I can safe spot the bats as well without taking a chunk of my run energy away. Interesting. Again, I want to kill the major. If they're both safe spotted, if nothing's on me, then that's when I'll be killing the major. If one of them is on me, then I'd work away, sort of how to safe spot it, and then if I still can't do anything about it, I'll be killing the blob first. So I've actually got 2 SGS specs now. I'll be doing one of them on the blob. Okay, I'll be doing 2 of them to hit nothing. Wow. So glad I got 99 strength on tag. Don't really want to play a flip here. I could just run around here. Don't mind the bat respawning, that's fine. In fact, no, I'm going to kill it. Because I want the blob a little bit closer to me where it does spawn. I'll wait for an SGS spec, 40 spec. Shouldn't take too long. Hopefully I can actually hit something this time. Oh my goodness. If I get to Zuck with not many prayer points, you know why. Your SGS would hopefully be hitting a little bit better than mine does. Good thing about killing it here is if it does respawn anything, obviously it's going to be spawning in the middle, so it wouldn't be able to attack me because I'm nicely tucked behind the pillar. I'm 19 prayer points. My SGS needs to start hitting. That spawn was actually quite nice. The major was, you know, blocks, so I could just deal with the blobs, and one of them was south as well, so I could just trap that behind the pillar, so it worked quite nicely. A little bit better. Unfortunately, it only actually healed me 7 prayer points, which isn't very good. I'm going to kill it to the north of this pillar, just because, as I said earlier, when it respawns something, it will be safe spot to the south of me. Especially when it's going to respawn in 2 blocks. Missed it. Oh, numpty. I should be able to heal enough off these. I just realised I was ranging out with my ancestral on the whole time. What an idiot. That's why I was hitting so shit. It's not very good. I don't want to take too much damage here, so I think I'm going to run out to the other side, which means that that major shouldn't attack me. So if I barrage that middle on there, only the ranger should attack me. In theory, and it was true. Now we have a problem, because I'm going to be taking a hit. I'll keep that on, I'm going to pray range. Okay, that was easy. Right, melee next. Nice. Just time to hit there. Didn't run there quick enough. For some reason it made me go there rather than here. The reason I stand this here is so the bat doesn't actually attack me. So I'm out of its attack range. want to kill the melee as fast as possible here because I know it's going to respawn. Which is now. I haven't got a blob spawning in a while, so I'm gonna SGS the major once. And it does hit. It's not as accurate, obviously, but it's better than not SGS specking at all. That's handy. Means I can do a few blood barrages now. I could also SGS pick it, but the melee doesn't really tend to hit very well. I mean, the SGS doesn't tend to hit very well. Okay, this isn't very good. It's not ideal. Okay, I've dealt with that reasonably well, I guess. Okay, I'm going to run down here and kill this one. They're actually nicely clumped off each other. Exactly the same spawn. In fact, I'm going to run south here. This is really good. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh my goodness, this is not going well. That was not a good spawn. I think if I stand here they get clumps. Maybe not. had to actually drink a brew there because I don't want to die. Like, there's, you know, for the sake of one brew dose, it's not very much, and it probably saved me really. Just, you know, it's pretty justified to drink a brew on a double blob wave. So, you know, don't conserve your brews. I mean, conserve them, but don't like take stupid risks. Freeze the Melia. In fact, I can attack it from here, I think. If I can kill it fast, that would be ideal. Oh no. Uh-oh. I couldn't really tell too fast what tick everything was attacking on. It looked pretty similar to me. I didn't want to take the risk, basically. Well, I needed prayer anyway, so I didn't really mind drinking the brew there. It's not going to happen again, is it? Surely. Can I hit, please? I think it actually died. Yeah, it did. That's nice. This is a Southie wave. Ugh, I hate these. Oh dear. Just gonna kill this as fast as I can. Oh, that should... This is not a clean wave at all, by any means. In fact, I fact, I'm going to run around here and get rid of these, because that's doing some naughty damage on my pillar. Wasted a little bit too much prayer there, really, but, you know, sometimes it has to be done. Running south is always... it never really ends well. I'd always do it as a last resort, but I saw the major was trapped there, but I think I ran a little bit too slow. I don't really know what happens. This is quite a nice spawn. As soon as this is dead, I'm going to be running... In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over here. Oh my goodness. Must have missed a flick. Aha! The melee does respawn, I can just run behind this pillar, so it's always nice to have a little way out, I guess. It's the ranger major next wave, so I've got to make sure that I'm full HP at the end of this wave. I'm hoping that the melee will be respawning soon. No, okay, maybe not. I might have to just barrage a little bit. Ah, here it is. Again, if you missed it, the reason why I stood in that spot is so I can barrage the Nebulars without unluring anything to the south. So that's the only spot you can do it on, so you have to go all the way north in line with the western side of the north pillar. Well, I got an SGS, got to change my crit prayer because it was on the mage. Quite a nice SGS spec. They were actually off tick there, which is handy. So now this is quite a good spawn because I can deal with this ranger without taking any damage because the bat's in front of it. The bat's actually stopping the major from attacking me, so I can safely just prey range and attack this back one without the major attacking me, which is very nice. I do take a little bit of damage, well not damage, but hits from the bat, which lowers my run obviously. But you know, it's not too much of a problem. I'm going to leave that bat there because, again, when the ranger respawns, I'll do exactly the same thing again. Oh. There we go. It nicely comes around there. Does it block it? It does block it. That's handy. So which means now I can do an SGS on the ranger. I probably could have done this one first. Probably could have killed the major first. Oh well. Should change my break quicker there. So the major is actually going to get diagonal there, so which is why I didn't pray, because I knew standing here it would be fine. Well, this is quite an interesting spawn actually. I didn't go through this in my guide because it doesn't really happen very often. But what I can do now is, because this major is actually safe spotted, it's trapped on the corner, and I know that in a minute it will be respawning the ranger. So it's similar to what you do with the Melias, in the way that you run back to, you know, the second step backwards and you can attack it. But when it does respawn the ranger, I mean it will. I know it will be south, so it wouldn't be much of a problem. But I can actually run back to this spot and again diagonal the major, I think. I think, anyway. Say that now. Let's just test it, actually. Yeah. Okay, so I can almost like run in and out of a safe spot here. So here is obviously attacking, and here is a safe spot. That's quite interesting. Like a good example, you know, a good way of using this. I mean, I know there's not one on this wave, but if there's a Melia coming, and it's the south, you know, if you're waiting for it to dig, you can be attacking the major whilst you're waiting for it to dig. As soon as it does dig, bam, you stand there, you safe spotted this, you kill the Melia. It's not really too helpful on this wave, but yeah, you can see how it works basically. But the only thing is, it only works when the monster is actually diagonal itself. It has to be in the diagonal safe spot first for this to work. Alright, there's the ranger. I'm gonna SGS spec this one twice. I have 2 SGS specs. So, let's get some prayer back. 6 spec, nothing, and good. I do augury on all the range waves. Just, I think they're on the same tick here. I know, they may just one afterwards. But... let me just think what I can do here. I'm gonna run around here, kill this one. There is actually one nibbler still alive, so I might just leave it, to be honest. Oh my goodness. That's not good. Yeah, that does happen sometimes. Whilst I'm here, I can kill that. That is not good at all. Basically, what... Let me just make sure I'm in a safe spot and I'll explain what just happened there. Oh my... How could it still attack me, I swear? Diagonals. So yeah, what happened there is... When it respawns stuff, sometimes it's completely random. I have no idea when and why it respawns. Why and when it does this. But sometimes when it respawns, it actually moves towards you and melees you. So what happened there is, you know, it respawned just as it was, you know, just as it was in a really dangerous situation, and actually ran straight towards me. It just charged straight at me. So you know, they're both attacking me, so I had no choice but to run south there. But you know, only using a few sips of a brew there is it's not too bad. Why did I just do that? That was a dumb move. Oh my god. There we go. You know, I've still got quite a few supplies. It's not the end of the world using, you know, It's much better to stay alive than use brews, because you normally have enough supplies to survive for Zuck. Oh my goodness. Right, again, this is not a good spawn. Well, I mean, it is a good spawn, but I don't like running around that way. A blob's not too bad. Wait, is this gonna be... No, it's not. If that was a... Sorry, one sec. Why? What was I saying? At the start of the wave, if that was like a major or a ranger, because they actually do a melee damage, sorry, melee hit on you, and it can do some serious damage. I don't really like running sort of in front of it, and then to sort of not unlure it, but running in front of it and then waiting for it to move is always quite risky on the range and the majors, because it does, you know, melee hits that you can't avoid. But with a blob, it doesn't really do too much damage, and it was much safer than staying that side when there's both major and range there. Quick enough. Nice. The problem I have here is I'm going to have to blob flick this. Right, now I'm going to have to go and kill that over there. Just in case. Right, now I'm going to have to run round to this spot to lure that blob closer to me. And now I can kill it. I'm going to leave that back there because it will probably help me out later when the blob or ranger respawns. Looks like I killed it a bit too fast. Well, not too fast, but, you know, very fast. But it didn't respawn anything, which is not a bad thing. Occasionally you want it to respawn something for a little bit of HP back, but in my case just then, didn't need it. Let's go for the leg. to do here is do that, just so it runs a little bit closer to me. Wait, what am I doing here? That was pretty stupid. I was actually thinking that I'm going to be blob flicking it, but all I actually do is just run it towards me. Just because I wanted to kill the mage first. 56 is quite a tough wave. You're more than likely to have to blob flick at least, you know, at least one of the blobs on 56. Bit of blob flicking going on here. Double blob flicks. Still works exactly the same because the two blobs are attacking on the same tick, which works nicely. Right, 57. This is first melee. Everything but no blobs, no bats. Ranged mage melee, I think. What I'm going to do here is run round to this spot. Like this. It's probably going to dig soon, though, my luck. Yeah. Oh, it just killed my pillar. That's not good. That's not good. Didn't even see them nibblers over there. Don't let it do that. I mean, to be honest, actually, in that circumstance, I had a danger of dying there, so it's probably justified to leave the nibblers. But getting that pillar is not a good thing. I don't mind it killing that one down south, which it probably will soon, because it is low. I do like using that west pillar. Some people don't like using it, but it is pretty handy. Ah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's just spec this one, I think. Do you know I'm not? Because it's going to unalert that. If if I move into melee distance, the major would attack me. Actually, that's a lie. No, it won't. If I stand here, I should be okay. This is a very good spawn. Nothing attacking me, beautiful. Lovely. Right. I want to kill... this isn't a good... This is not good actually because... Well, I mean it's good for the explanation of this. But it's not good for me surviving the wave. Actually, it may be. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make it hard for myself and do it the way that will help the guide. Oh, okay, maybe not. I thought they would run straight behind each other and then I could show flicking. But it is in the guide somewhere. If you skip to around sort of 25 or so minutes. I don't know off by heart, but it's how to deal with mage and rangers behind each other. It is in the guide somewhere if you are interested. I'm sure that later on it will happen, but at the moment it hasn't happened yet. But I'm sure later on it will happen somewhere. I'm just going to barrage back to full HP on this one. I'm not going to kill it. I just want to get back to full HP. Right, wave 60. This is not an easy one. It is easy if it's going to do that though. Oh my god, this is too easy. I mean, normally something would splash there. I'm actually going to risk this. I don't want to kill that south one. Oh my goodness. pretty big risk. I took a lot of damage there. A lot of damage. Wow, that wasn't ideal. Probably something's going to respawn, so if it gets too low HP and nothing's respawned, then I'll heal back up. Oh, okay, there we go. I'm going to SGS spec. In fact, I'm going to kill the Melia first. Just because I want to SGS spec the Ranger. We're getting into the hard waves now, so things might get a little bit hairy. Might get a little bit hairy. I'm gonna wait for SGS spec. Check my Twitter for a sec. Let's restart the music. Right, I clicked on my internet, Google Chrome, ages ago, and it still hasn't loaded. So it's probably going to respawn. Respawn? I've said respawn so many times. It's probably going to open up mid-wave now and mess me up probably. There it is. Close it down. Right, 61. Freeze, please. That's pretty ideal. Now I can continue to blob flick. And I can kill the blob. Misclick there. Because I turned my Ultra Retaliate on and then didn't have my auto cast on, so I thought that it might be just running me towards them. That would not have been good. Righto, the Ranger is actually blocked where it is, so I'm going to kill the Major. Peace out. Right. I think these are actually hurting quite a lot. I'm actually getting very nice spawns at the moment. Very, very nice spawns. I don't expect it to be this nice in your cave, because everything is spawning so south at the moment. I think I just broke the game somehow. What should we? Well, it's just sod's law that I'm going to get an awful, awful spawn on 63, because that's obviously the hardest one. I'm going to have to blob flick this, I think. Oh, okay. Again, very range. Ah, I was waiting for this. Okay, this is nice. Well, it's not nice, but you know, for the sake of this guide, it is nice. How to deal with this? I did explain it in the guide. But basically, when they're behind each other, you got two options. Either you freeze the first one, you run all the way to the northwest. But I wouldn't suggest doing that. I would do something a little bit like this. So if you stand directly in the middle, it has to be this spot here, right next to the pillar, right in the middle. It does also work on the south pillar as well. Pillow? There's also a pillow. Pillar, right in the middle, and if you just directly attack the back one, it will actually attack one tick before the front one. Reason being is because the front one has to actually run round the pillar to attack you. So if I pray range and then mage one tick later, I don't take any hits. Now this is a little bit different. Just for the sake of me explaining this, I'm going to kill this one. Make it again hard for myself. But because one example isn't really too helpful. As you can see, attack the back one tick later, switch your prayer to the front one. It always works. It doesn't really matter which way around they are. Oh, that's just a nuisance. I think it should be okay because that's still got to run around to attack me. But it means that I'm going to keep my prayer on because the blob obviously will carry on attacking. Didn't really run me around that much. Oh, I missed my range there completely. It's quite off-putting because normally it runs you round, but because it's there, it doesn't. So it still works the same. The timings are still exactly the same. Let's miss that one. It's annoying when it respawns because it messes with my timings. Right, wave 63 next. Knowing my luck, I will get an awful spawn, so this is where it can get a little bit hairy. And it's not too bad. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to... Oh shit, actually this isn't good. Can I attack that from there? No. No. To run south. Don't die on me, please. No! No, 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 no. Don't. Oh. Flippin' hell. My pillar just died on me. Don't do that. That's not good. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, I think I'm okay. No! This isn't good at all. Right, now, let me just drop that. I can run to here. Jesus. Right, that was not a good spawn, lads. That was not a good spawn. It was all going to be dandy until it killed my blooming pillar. I was all going to be fine. I saw that pillar was low. I hit a 2 on the nibbler rather than a 10 or whatever would have killed it. Okay, now I'm going to have to run down to it. Are you serious? Wait. Don't die now, for goodness sake. Right. Just ignore everything I just did. Well, to be honest, I mean, it's quite a good way to show that it's not always going to go well. And sometimes just drinking the brews is your best option. Oh my. I think I just missed that. So I just tank a hit. I mean, 63 is never really, unless you get a good spawn, and 63 is never easy. Because obviously everything is spawning 2 blobs. Tried to blob flick them, but then everything, like the setup for the spawn was just all wrong. But, you know, as long as you come out the other side with enough brews for... Well, I wouldn't even say enough brews because 5 brews is enough, you know. That's absolutely fine. 5 brews, 6 restores is enough. As long as you get to Zuck. I mean, for me, I need to, you know, I need to do this one successfully. So I'm drinking sort of more brews, but obviously if it's your first time, just drink the brews and get as far as you can. But I'm bearing in mind that I need to do all of Zuck. So hopefully I have enough supplies, which I should have enough. Keep them vials. I'd like to have 2 vials for Zuck so I can put them down. So I know where to attack from. I don't really need them actually. I could just keep 2 on me. Just makes my invent look messy. I'll wait for one more SGS spec. Oh. Whereas I've had my foot on this little wire that's on the floor, and now I've got the shape of a wire on my foot, at the bottom of my foot. I think in my guide I actually showed a clean wave 63. Really just depends on your spawn, like, me showing a bad wave 63 is probably better, because it does happen more often than not. I mean, that was probably worst case scenario, because I had to run south, then my pillar died, like everything just went wrong there. Which, obviously isn't great. Oh, hang on a minute, hang on a minute, hang on a minute. I don't want this pillar to die as well, so I'm going to kill that. Kill the nibblers. In wave 64 you want to have, you know, at least one, if you can do both, mage and ranger safe spotted. So like there I had to run north because I saw that they would have both been safe spotted. Sometimes it happens where you can't actually safe spot them both, but if you can, do. This is another one where I'm attacking the back one, opposite to what it was before. Obviously I'm going to be twisted by this major at the back. You have to make sure you stand in the middle though, have to make sure. Stand in the middle, attack the back one attacks one tick before the front one. You can do it so you flick them, but this is a safer alternative. Like, you can just run out and carry on attacking them, but I like to do it this way. I don't really waste any hits either. So, you know. That shouldn't change anything. Okay, it does. Why did it do that? I'm gonna wait for I'm gonna wait for that. Don't know why that would change anything. Maybe because it runs faster or something. I don't know what happened there. But basically I'm gonna wait for this Melia to spawn next to me. And then barrage it. Get my HP back and then carry on flicking. Because that shouldn't have happened. Right. Just die, please. Right, 1 HP. There we go. Right, I'm going to SGS spec the ranger now. Prayer is right. Oh, oh, didn't even click my spec. Standing in the middle, my bad. I could do with waiting for one more SGS, but I'm not going to. I don't want to waste your time. "65" is 2 rangers and the mage, so trap the safe spot the range. Safe spot the mage, and then prey range. You don't want to be tanking one of them here, so you may be taking a little bit of damage, just sort of standing in the right place. For that reason, in fact, I'm going to do that. Put my tank armor on. Okay, I'm going to stand over here. In fact, I'm going to stand here because they're both safe spotted, and it means I can kill the nibblers. And also, obviously, it won't respawn, so if you can safe spot both the rangers, then by all means do. But most of the time, you know, one of them won't be safe spottable, so safe spot the mage and then pray range. But I got a decent spawn, so lucky me. Right, I'm going to SGS spec one of them. Get that to 4 HP, lovely. For both second and second tick, which is nice. Double mages next wave. You've got to make sure that you kill them both at the same time, which means get one to low HP, and then kill the other one, and then go back to the previous one. Reason being is because they like to respawn each other, which is never a nice thing. You also got to make sure that at the end of the wave that you stand away from the last remaining pillar, or well, whatever pillar you're using even, because at the end of this wave they destroy themselves, and if you're standing next to them it can do you 49 damage, which obviously isn't too nice. Somewhere on this wave I'd be logging out, just so you can position yourself for Jad before, you know, so you can just log straight in right next to Jad, rather than run into there. Oh, I just did exactly what I told myself not to do. Great. Absolutely brilliant. So this is Jad next. If you haven't seen my Jad guides, no, and you're not regular Jad, I was just watching it. I just killed it again, I'm an idiot. This isn't going well. I'll leave that one alive. So as I say, make sure you move out the way of the pillar before the end of the wave, or it, well, you'll see in a minute when it destroys itself. It can do you some damage. Like now, bam, it destroys itself. And now we got to prepare for Jads. For Jad, I stand on this spot. In fact, I'm going to go for a quick toilet break quickly. So I'm going to pause the recording. But yeah, I stand this middle spot just because it's right next to where Jad spawns. Alright, back in a sec. Okay, we're back, and I'm going to log back in, and basically what I'm going to be doing is Jad, get it half HP, lure the healers, run straight through it, barrage the healers back to 4 HP again, and then I will be able to finish off the Jads. So yeah, rigor and activated. If you feel comfortable flicking it, then do so, but I wouldn't. I would personally, because you know I'm okay at it. But you know, if it's not your first, if it's your first time, then just get the hits right. Right, so as I say, the healers, I want to get all of them together. Right, and then when they're all together, I'm going to go stand over here. And as soon as Jad's next attack, I'm going to run straight through Jad and praying melee on the way out. and one little bastard has escaped. So I'm going to kill this one quickly. Right, now I'm going to barrage them back, get my HP back to 99, and prepare for triple jabs. If you haven't already, log out, you know, so you can position yourself before triple jabs. Okay, that's jab done. Now we're on to triple jabs. For triple jabs, I stand at this spot just over here. Reason being is the southern jab will spawn just here. In fact, it spawns in these tiles exactly just there, which means I am out of its melee range by 1 square, and also only one healer can actually attack me when it does spawn the healers. So I'm going to brew up here. I always brew up triple jabs and also range pot. Just you know, triple jabs is, you don't really have too much time to think. You just got to just do it and hope for the best. When you're doing the healers on triple jabs, always use your twisted bow. Don't barrage them because it's too much to sort of concentrate on. There's only 3 healers, so you know you're not saving yourself too much time. Also, I'll log out to start the wave again. Right, mage. It's going around the opposite direction now, this is quite annoying. Normally I like it going around the other way. Luckily, a lot of them attacked with range whilst I was doing the healers there. As I say, only one healer is actually attacking me now, because I'm standing where I am. Probably zoom out a little bit actually, shouldn't I? There we go. Make sure you can see all jabs at all times. Obviously, if you need to brew, then do so. But if you get too low HP, brew. But if not, just make sure that when you do the single jab at the end, so the last one that you kill, you can actually barrage all the healers then. You don't really want to waste your brews at this point. So I got 5 and 5 really. So now I'm going to be running straight through jab. Again, melee on the way out, just in case it melees you, and then switch your prayer accordingly. Right, it is Zuck time. So when I do Zuck, I like to move everything I'm not going to be using down to the bottom of my invent. Everything I will be using to the top, and everything else, you know, just in a way that you know what you're, you know where everything is, and you're able to do it as efficiently as possible. So basically, I want my blow pipe at the top, and I want my range pots and my stamina pot at the top. Everything else, take it down the bottom. You don't need it now. That was only for the previous wave. What I like to do is I like having the shield moving towards the west. Reason being is because you get more hits on the ranger on the first phase. You know, so yeah, if it's not spawning west, then you can just log out, relog, and hopefully it'll be spawning west, or just keep relogging until it does. So what I want to do here is brew, restore range pot, and I'll stamina it later on. Don't need to at the moment, but later on I will be. So again, log out and do your best. I will try and explain sort of as I'm going, but I'm aware that, you know, obviously it does take a little bit of concentration. So I'll try and, you know, I'll do my best. This is live, so, you know, I'll try and go through it. But okay, so it is moving to the east, which means I want to relog. I don't like east spawns. It does happen occasionally. Basically, as soon as I get in, I want to put my vials down as soon as possible. Oh, it's moving to the east again. Okay, I'm going to relog. Please don't say they've patched it. I don't like east spawns. Aha, there we go. Right. So 3 steps on the end, vial down, attack on the 4th, like so. And I'm going to do the same with the other ends. You got to attack on the rocks, so there, and there, and then 3 from either ends. Well, you put it on the 3rd one, attack on the 4th, if that makes sense. So the first Mage and Ranger will spawn after 1 shield rotation, which is as soon as it gets back to the other side, that is when it will spawn. So I can get 1 more hit on Zuck, and then I'm going to be praying Mage, ready for the first Major. You want to get the aggro of the Ranger as soon as possible, really. So here I'm going to just attack, run, attack, run, attack, run, attack, run. If you feel comfortable prayer flicking, do so, but you know, it's not really needed. I've taken no damage whatsoever. Well, I've taken 23 right at the end there. But it does happen where... Okay, in fact, I'm going to leave that major until it gets to 600 HP. What was I saying? I can't remember. The reason I'm leaving the first major is because the timer for when the next major ranger spawns is actually on a timer. So when it gets to 6 minutes in total... Sorry, when it gets to 600 HP, the timer is unpaused. No, sorry, the timer is paused. Which means that I'm going to have more time, to kill Zuck. I do explain it better in my guide. I can't really explain it whilst doing Zuck because it's a little too much to concentrate on. I hope you appreciate that. I basically want to get Zuck down to 600 HP now. The minute it gets below 600 HP, that's when I can kill the major. So very soon. One more hit. Right, now I can kill the major. This is when the timer is actually paused. Get one more hit on it. Obviously in the corners you can keep on attacking Zuck. Luckily I've killed it, so I can set my prayer off. So next thing is Jad. Jad spawns at 480 HP of... sorry, when Zuck is at 480 HP. So I'm going to rebrew, and there it spawns. The first hit actually attacks the shield. There's no way you can sort of get around that. But that's why I didn't hear the sound. Be careful when you're doing the healers, make sure you're in the middle of the cave. I knew that it wouldn't attack me because I know sort of how long between each attack Zuck attacks. So, but yeah, just be careful when you're getting aggro at the healers. That, you're not running towards the centre of the cave. So obviously you don't want to take a hit from Zuck. Right, that's that one dead. Next thing is healers at 240 HP. But I want the ranger and major to spawn before the healers spawn. So now I'm going to be getting it down to around 300 HP, just so I'm in this, so I'm safe. So I think that's 308. Yeah, probably one more hit, I would say. Yeah, okay, that would do. 280. I don't want to go any less than that because the healers will actually spawn. So basically what I'm doing is forcing the major and ranger to spawn now because as I say, the timer, this is when the timer comes into play. So in roughly 3 minutes after the Jads, the major and ranger spawns. So all I'm doing now is I don't want to get Zuck to lower HP because I don't want the healers and the major and ranger to spawn at one time. So what I'm doing is I'm just waiting for the major and ranger to spawn so I can deal with them individually. We'll be spawning pretty soon. Hopefully within the next minute or so. Pretty good for supplies at the moment. Not too much of a problem right now. probably going to re-range pot actually when it does spawn. I've also got to put my rigger on. I'm going to put it on now, just so I don't forget. Because it will be spawning very soon. Ah, there we go. I'm going to leave the major for now. Hopefully I killed it. Killed it just about in time. So you can actually switch to your twisted bow to get a last hit in. It's sort of a last ditch attempt. Unluckily my it actually spawned when I was all the way to the east. I don't want to attack that mage now because it will under me. As soon as I kill this mage, I can get Zuck to less than 240. That's when the healers will spawn. Which is now. Okay, I want the healers to spawn when I'm in one of the two corners. And I want my blowpipe and my retribution on. So I'm going to do it now. Just by the time. Oh my god, that's a big XP drop. Retribution on, blowpipe on. Why am I taking a hit there? Just took an 11. Pretty unsure as to why I took a hit there, but there we go. Okay, I can now get back on that. Oh my god. That's why you have your retribution. Get back to your full HP again and prepare for the third mage and rage set. That wasn't actually that smooth. The Zuck actually healed a lot of HP there. It wouldn't normally. If you do it better than that, you know, obviously it shouldn't be healing that much. But I had to wait a little bit longer, and I also brewed a few times as well. So obviously I lost my range pot. I also took one Zuck hit as well. I have no idea why that happened. I'm pretty sure I wasn't at, well, I must have been out of the range, but I didn't consciously think, oh damn, I've messed up here. Yeah, I'll have to have a look back on that, I guess. Ah. Hopefully the major doesn't do too much damage on my shield. At the moment it's hitting rapid 70s. Don't kill the shield, please. Oh, 57. Jesus, that was low. Unfortunately, my range and major spawns all the way to the east, so I didn't have long to kill it. I can actually leave that major there, to be honest. It's not too much. I'm going to repot actually. This is the final straight now. Final stretch. Just do as much damage as you can. 200 HP left. I could kill that, but there's no real need, to be honest. And that is almost Zack dead. 412, that should be about right. Nope. Yeah, Zack dead. I'm gonna kill that. Oh, he died anyway. Cool! And that is your Infernal cape. Really hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough, but yeah, congrats me, and hopefully congrats you. Thanks very much for watching. The video is 2 hours 18 minutes long. If you did watch it, comment down below that you watched it, because in fact there's only one thing I can do with this cape before I end this video, so I might as well. Here, that would be pretty good if I got a pet, wouldn't it? No nib for you. Gay! Right, okay, thanks for watching. Comment down below if you watched it all, and best of luck with your Inferno attempts. The link to my guide will be in the description. I also put the link to my JAD guide in the description as well, if you do need if you do need more help with JADs. And other than that, hopefully you can get your Inferno cape. And yeah, good luck.